A major political debate has erupted across Britain following two large demonstrations that took place in London on the same day, the Unite the Kingdom rally and a separate pro-Palestine protest. Welcome back to UK is Burning channel. While authorities described the policing operation as one of the largest seen in recent years, public reaction to the government's response has become increasingly divided. According to reports, more than 4,000 police officers were deployed across the capital, alongside mounted units, facial recognition technology, surveillance systems, and heavy crowd control measures. Officials claimed the operation was necessary to prevent violence and avoid clashes between rival groups gathering in central London. However, critics of the government argued that the official response appeared heavily focused on the Unite the Kingdom demonstration, while far less attention was directed toward extremist behavior allegedly seen at opposing protests. The controversy intensified after political commentators accused Prime Minister Keir Starmer of unfairly targeting one side of the political spectrum, while remaining comparatively silent on inflammatory rhetoric emerging elsewhere. Supporters of the Unite the Kingdom movement argued that many of those attending were ordinary British citizens concerned about issues such as immigration, crime, cultural identity, and public safety. They claimed that most protesters were peaceful individuals expressing frustration over what they believe is a growing disconnect between the government and the public. At the same time, opponents of the rally warned that some individuals associated with the broader movement have previously made deeply controversial statements, raising fears about extremism and social division. Despite this, several commentators questioned whether labeling all attendees as extremists or far-right risks alienating ordinary citizens who simply want to express concerns about the direction of the country. The issue of free speech quickly became central to the wider national debate. Some argued that in a democratic society, people should have the right to peacefully display national symbols, criticize immigration policy, and openly discuss social concerns without automatically being labeled extremists. Others warned that rhetoric surrounding immigration and national identity can easily fuel hostility and increase tensions within already divided communities. As the demonstrations unfolded, videos circulating online appeared to capture aggressive chants and threats coming from small groups within the crowds. Several clips rapidly spread across social media platforms, triggering international attention and further intensifying political arguments online. The viral footage added fuel to accusations of what many users described as two-tier policing, the belief that authorities apply different standards depending on the political identity of protesters involved. Critics pointed to the massive police presence surrounding the Unite the Kingdom march, arguing that similar energy was not consistently directed toward dealing with threatening behavior elsewhere during the demonstrations. Meanwhile, police officials defended the scale of the security operation, stating that the large deployment was based primarily on crowd size, intelligence assessments, and the need to maintain public order throughout London. Questions were also raised over the overall financial cost of the operation, with some estimating that millions of pounds may have been spent on policing a single day of protests. The wider political atmosphere surrounding the demonstrations became even more heated due to ongoing debates linked to previous unrest in Britain, including tensions surrounding crime, immigration, public trust, and the handling of politically sensitive incidents. Many commentators argued that Britain is now experiencing a deeper social fracture, where political polarization is growing rapidly and trust in institutions continues to decline. Others warned that constantly framing ordinary citizens as extremists may only deepen divisions and push communities further apart. At the same time, critics from across the political spectrum acknowledged that extremism exists on both the far right and far left, and that aggressive rhetoric from any side risks damaging social cohesion. Some observers also suggested that foreign disinformation campaigns and online manipulation may be worsening tensions by amplifying anger and encouraging political hostility between different groups inside Britain. By the end of the weekend, one message had become increasingly clear: the country appears more politically divided than united. What began as 2 demonstrations in central London has now evolved into a much larger national debate, one involving free speech, immigration, policing, political trust, media narratives, and the future identity of modern Britain. And as these arguments continue to spread online and across the political landscape, many are now asking a difficult question. Is Britain simply going through a period of political disagreement, or is the country entering a far deeper era of social division? This is UK is Burning, where the truth doesn't stay hidden.